Hello everybody, my name is Andrea Graham and I want to welcome you to the Leaf Heart Path. I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today, and today's reading is meeting your animal spirit guides. Now, animal guides are like other spirit guides in that they come to us to lend support and strength on our journeys. And today's reading will enable you to identify which animal spirit is with you right now and to hear its message. Before we get into the reading, I do want to thank you for being here, and if you're so inclined, you can show support for this channel and these readings by subscribing, hitting that notification bell, liking this video, and then sharing it with others who might find value with this as well. This helps the channel out tremendously, and it also lets me know which readings mean more to you. So as you can see, we do have quite a few options today. So moving from the top to the bottom, left to the right, we have groups 1 all the way over to 7. Our second row is 8 all the way over through 14, and then our third row is going to run from 15 over to 20. These are going to be mini readings, so I encourage you to pick 1 or 2 or 3 different piles, really as many as you'd like, whatever's resonating for you. And the animals that you choose may be guides that could be with you right now, or they may be animal guides you've known from the past that you've worked with, or they may also be a guide that you are currently attracting into your energy field at this moment. We are using crystals for help and identification. We do have a lot of piles today, so we're going to go over these right now for you to help you make your decision. So group 1 is Carnelian. Group 2, red aura quartz. Group 3, Hematoid quartz. Group 4, copper. Group 5, that's a Septarian nodule. Group 6, Bumblebee Jasper. This yellow stone for group 7 is Sulfur. Group 8, Fluorite. 9, this is a raw emerald. And group 10, halfway there, that's Labradorite. Group 11, Sodalite. 12, raw sapphire. 13, Iolite. 14, Celestite. 15, blue agate. 16, ruby. 17, Phosphosiderite, and I think that's what that is. That's not definitive. This is one of those stones, I think when I got it, it came with a cutesy name. It does fracture easily, so I'm thinking it's Phosphosiderite, but if you have another idea about what it might be, if you're somebody that notices that, let us know in the comment box. Group 18, you're marked with Ametrine. Group 19 is Calcite. This is a pink calcite. And finally, last but not least, we have Howlite marking group number 20. All right, that was a lot. So you can pause this video should you need a little more time to choose. Again, I recommend picking 3 if you've got 3 that are calling to you, 2 to 3. Check out the description box or the video bar for your timestamps for each of these and chapters. You can obviously revisit this as many times as you need to come back and kind of check in on the energies to see if anything shifts. And likewise, you can revisit this video at any point as it's timeless, and the animal guide who comes through for you in the future might be somebody who's new. If you're so inclined, please share the guides that you picked and what resonated for you in the comment box below. Any words that you share do help to connect with others. It bridges that gap to other people in our community, and your words may help guide others on their own journeys. All right, friends, that's it for me here. I will see you shortly over in your videos. Bye. Hello, group 1. Welcome to your animal spirit mini reading. So your crystal that you chose today was this Carnelian, and we're going to hop right into who your guide is. Ooh, all right. So your animal spirit guide is the dragon. So this is definitely not what I was expecting right off the bat. Yeah, this is not what I was anticipating. And they say here that, you know, the eyes are the portals to the soul. Take a look at that eye. So this makes me feel like you sort of just unknowingly walked up to this gorgeous slumbering beast, and it slowly peels its eye open behind us, and it's able to peer into the depths of who you are. When I look at this eye and this being, I feel with this guide that there is boundless intelligence, and there's some curiosity, but there's also this deep recognition and knowing that goes with that. This guide feels to me to be incredibly understanding, possesses infinite patience, but they're also slow to act, I think. There's just something about time. The passage of time is unique for them. Yeah. There's a patient calculation here. And I think for those of you who feel like you may be a bit hot-headed on occasion, this beautiful being can help to temper that energy. So if you've pulled this card, it's likely that I would say, group 1, that you have been through some tough times. Life has thrown some challenging experiences your way, and I'd say likely more than once. And this is a being who is boundless. They've transcended limitations through a lengthy life and through many experiences. And I feel this is an energy that may resonate strongly with this group who's watching. So if you've fallen on some challenging times recently, things feel a little more hard, allow the strength of the dragon spirit to lift you up, to shelter you, to protect you. They can be grounding and a stabilizing force while you move through this. And I feel like once you've been touched by dragon, that there's no going back. You are forever changed. It leaves you with its strength of its body, the strength of body, the flexibility of flight that it has, its shielding scales, and its fiery kiss. This isn't an energy to fear, but it's rather one of surrender. Yeah, surrender is one of Dragon's messages. Let go. Try not to control so much because, I mean, really, how much of life do we actually control? And remember that nothing is truly permanent. Even uncomfortable feelings are events. Okay, I'd like to see if there's any additional information or advice coming through from you, so, for you, excuse me. So we're going to grab this top card here. Okay, and we have the Father of Wands, so this seems appropriate. We've got a little more scale action happening here. All right, that's very cool. So, what I'm feeling for some of you is that surrendering and adopting Dragon's centeredness and patience, when you do that, you're going to emerge like this Father of Wands on the other side of your current situation. And this very much mirrors what we spoke about earlier, that Dragon changes you. You become a bit more like Dragon as you spend time with them. You know, notice here the flexibility of the snake's body, and they also have scales, and they also have a similarly alert look in their eye, curiosity and awareness of what's around them. And see this lightning here, that lightning bolt, and it's an awareness of their own power. So if you're here, group 1, you are likely experiencing some kind of transformation, and this is a message to lean into Dragon's strength and their support, and know that you too will walk through the flames of change and find that same dragonic fire in your belly. A new centeredness, a strength of presence, and a deep understanding of your own power and value. Okay, group 1, that's what's coming forward for you right now. So take a moment to locate your other groups so you can learn about the other animal guides who are with you right now. It's been a pleasure. See ya. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your animal spirit mini reading. Your crystal is this red aura quartz. It's pretty. And we're going to take a look at your animal and meet them right now. Ooh. All right. The shark. I have to say right off the bat, I've had some super interesting animals so far, just in these first two groups. These are cards I never pull. So there's a lot of big energy here for you, for all of you thus far. And the message I'm receiving for you from Shark is just, it's one of sensitivity, actually. That's not what I was expecting. Sharks are predators, and their job is to hunt and to eat and reproduce. And I know, myself included, there are a lot of people who are afraid of sharks. Some deeply afraid because of that understanding. They're gigantic fish with a pre-programmed penchant for snacking on anything that's substantial, right? But that is not how this shark energy is presenting itself at all. This spirit does have an awareness of its size and its power, and most of all, its place. That feels really important to me, group 2. This shark, what I'm feeling is that its body and its system is this finely oiled machine. Everything has a purpose and a place with this animal guide, and it has a highly refined sensory system. It can sense the slightest changes in the space around it. And this is what Shark wants to talk with you about, your sensitivity. You. If you're here, you may be someone who identifies as highly sensitive, HSP, an empath, maybe quiet, introverted, or an INF type on the Myers-Briggs inventory. Some of you may be energy readers yourself, or psychic, mediums, somebody who's highly intuitive. And Shark models self-acceptance, knowing who you are, and allowing that to be as is. There may be things about yourself that you aren't accepting, or that you might even be hiding, group 2. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to shout, self-love from the rooftops. You don't have to ooze that. There's no need to flaunt. This is more of a neutral perspective, a shift into allowance, a quiet presence and strength, much like Shark as it glides through the water. A shark is. There's no judging, there's no guilt, there's no shame here, there's just presence. And beyond this, by showing up for yourself and supporting you, you can take this a step further and tap into your natural gifts as a sensitive. Like Shark, you have a gift for sniffing out what others may not sense or see. And you're being encouraged to embrace this because it is in your nature. We are all animals, and we all share these unique sensitivities at our core. It's just that some of us have a slightly stronger antenna, and you're one of these individuals. Shark says to you that sensitivity is a gift. Yeah. And so it's time for you to open this gift and enjoy the abundance that it brings. Okay, let's see what else we have. Other messages? All right, it's the 3 of Pentacles. Ooh, I'm really interested in what's happening right down there. The color and the threads that are joining those pentacles together, the way that they're standing out on that card, the black and white, this is like you following the thread of your intuition and following your gut and allowing it to be your guide. If you've been fighting this, it's been hard. Perhaps things have always felt like an uphill battle to you, like you've encountered a lot of obstacles. And when you decide to embrace yourself for who you are, your sensitivities, your gifts, things are going to be a lot easier for you, more free-flowing. In fact, you may find that opportunities and connections pop up out of the blue for you, group 2. And it will feel like the universe is working in tandem with you, not against you. It's like a pulley system. And it's going smoothly. Everything's working smoothly. So allow and embrace, see your uniqueness as gifts and opportunities, just like Shark is reminding us. You've tapped into Shark's energy and power when you begin to swim with the flow and the ease which follows. It's just going to bring a smile to your face. All right, group 2, that's what's coming forward for you. So take a moment to locate your other groups so you can learn about the other animal guides who are with you right now. Thanks for being here. Bye. Welcome, group 3. This is your animal guide spirit mini reading, and you picked this Hematoid quartz here. And your animal spirit guide is the sea serpent. Wow. I've had some incredibly unique animals thus far that have popped out. And I said this with the last one too, just I don't normally get these, so very, very unique. The energies are all very different and very distinct. And so what I want to lean into here is the Ouroboros shape that we have here. And so the message is not just about life or death and renewal with the sea serpent, but it's about the little journeys and the little cycles that we experience in our lives on a daily basis. It's like I'm seeing this, but then I'm seeing this repeated on a much smaller scale over and over and over again. And that's those little events that make up our lives. The message here is about habits and reflection. You know, where do you get a little stuck, a little fixated on things? What patterns and habits do you repeat again and again? Are they helpful habits or things that could use more of a bird's eye view and a bit of space and a little oxygen to breathe? And for some of you, this may be about circling sensitive subjects or topics, but never quite getting close enough for contact. So things may not be getting addressed in some areas of your life, with certain relationships. And for others, this may be about repeating generational habits and patterns and routines, and there may be some trauma that's been passed from the generation before or even before that. And for others, this is about necessary change that needs to happen. So we do have quite a few layers to this, and just pick what resonates. It may be one of those things, it may be some of them or even all of them. Sea serpent lends an energy of awareness and fluidity, an understanding of our own habits or patterns that are unhealthy, unhelpful, no longer serving us. Sea serpent brings with it a wake up. As you notice this eye here, right in the middle of the card. You know, what changes can you observe and that you can make to your daily experience from an understanding of your own behavior? Because if you're here, it is likely you know what ails you, you know, what's consuming your time. Or are you eating your own tail? By accepting sea serpent's energy, you're softening and you're allowing change to blossom within you. And one little change can lead to much bigger changes. All it takes is that first step. Just so long as you're not making steps that keep you in the same kinds of cycles. Yeah. Okay, I'd like to see what other messages we have. We're going to pull a tarot right off the top of the deck here. We have the Mother of Cups. Beautiful. Okay, so this is a card of healing and intuition. This is perfect. So to me, this is like you conducting a little inventory into your own patterns of behavior and make a move towards positive change and growth, sort of getting off that treadmill of the bad habits so you're not chasing or eating your own tail. There is a healing cup that's being extended here, you know, almost from your future self to your past self. It's like moving from where you are and you're giving this balm to yourself, and you embody this elevated, beautiful space that this Mother of Cups here represents and reflects. So for some of you, this is circling back as a call to heal or to halt generational trauma. I feel a lot of loving support and guidance in this space, and it's though, again, future you is stepping forward to envelope you in a healing hug. And it's a very unique kind of energy that Sea Serpent is stepping forward with. If you're here, this is a call just to swim in the waters of self-awareness and self-reflection, you know, keeping an eye toward discovering your beautiful presence in the now. Okay, group 3, that is what is coming forward for you. So take a moment to visit your other group choices and learn about the animal guides who are here with you right now. I'm going to end your reading here. Thanks for being here. Bye. Group 4, welcome to your animal spirit mini reading. And if you picked the copper, then you are in the right place. Let's meet your guide. Okay. And you have frog. Lovely. So this is just pure healing energy for you right now. I want to say not just emotional healing either. It's not just energetic healing, it's not just spiritual healing, but it could be any or all of those things. I do want to encompass healing of the body as well for some of you. There is something about surgeries perhaps or medical issues for some of you, and just know that Frog is with you during this time. I'm being told to say to watch for his bright colors as he keeps you company. Yeah, so you might catch him between sleep and waking. watching you, just encouraging, very gently, healing in peace. And for some of you, this is an emphasis on emotional healing, which could be tied into healing of the body as well. Yeah, see how the rain here is washing the frog's skin? It's wetting it down. And this is like a release of build up of suppressed feelings and emotions. Perhaps things have been bubbling and brewing under the surface for some time, and frog is encouraging you to let it all out, just to let it go. And as you release, I see this like some kind of valve or switch that's being pressed, and the gates just open, almost like releasing water from, behind a dam. Things are just going to flood out. But in this release, the energetic muck is cleared away, and there's space for healing of things that were previously walled off. And now they have the oxygen they need to breathe. And then the healing begins. And Frog says to let it out, to let it go, and release. Some of you may also associate frogs with a deceased loved one, someone you care about. And so that could be a symbol too that they're stepping forward as well, with Frog. Yeah, that's just for some of you. Let's see what other messages we get here. All right. So this is the Nine of Swords. Yeah. Okay. Nightmares. It's the nightmare card usually. The frog is just not even disturbed by that at all. Just checking it out. And I almost see those images as like this is a wound of some kind. It's a wound that can't heal because of the lack of space to do so, the lack of air. It's a feeling of being stagnant. To me, it's a feeling of being trapped in some instances, like there's just not enough room to stretch your wings or to grow because there are these limitations in place, and some of them are self-imposed. Others maybe are not. But the key to this all, as Frog was saying, is just to create room and space to heal, maybe to grieve, to mourn, to weep, whatever it is that you need to do, which is going to in turn make room for joy and laughter and a whole lot of self-love coming your way. And that, I think, is going to feel very supportive and stable. I think some of you may be experiencing pretty significant anxiety in this group, and as I mentioned, nightmares. And so this is a call to peek into those points. Like if you're kind of riding a roller coaster right now, go into those lower points. That's where you want to dig in a little bit and see where you need attention. And that might involve bringing in a professional of some kind, or a coach, a therapist, a friend, whatever suits you best. And this may also involve stepping back from obligations or other things that are also keeping you boxed in. Yeah, because I almost see the swords as holding you in, right? Like they're folding together like this. And I think it might be a little scary for some of you to pull those swords out one by one, but I have a feeling that those mental images that you're projecting now are a lot scarier than what actually lies beneath. And as you release each one of these, pull one, pull another, pull another, pull another. All of the mess is just going to fall away. And it's going to leave behind what actually needs attention, which is what Frog is here for. They're here to support you on that path. So keep an eye out for Frog Group 4, because I have a feeling you may be seeing glimpses of Frog on this journey. All right, so that's what's coming forward for you today in your mini reading. Take a moment to visit your other group choices to learn about the other animal guides who are here with you right now. It's been a pleasure. Bye. Hello, Group 5. Welcome to your animal spirit mini reading, and your crystal or rock today, fossil, I don't know what you call it, is a Septarian nodule. And let's meet your guide, who is coming in for Group 5 right now. Aw, it's a bee, a little honeybee. I love this card, it's so joyful. Okay, so what I'm picking up about this particular guide is the idea of interconnectedness with others, right? What I'm seeing in my head is actually this bee heading back to the hive, doing their little dance to show where to get the best pollen. And just the overall way, like the structure of it all, the way it works, their magnificent communication, because they all have these specific jobs to do and it gets done. And if you're here, the bee is coming in as a guide and is calling you to remember that human connection is the nectar of life. Whoa, that's coming through kind of heavy right now. And I know that's not, I'm not saying like the words correctly, but Human connection is we could say the honey of life, if that's better. It's your honey. So lean into friendships and relationships right now. So you want to think about this almost like the importance of people being in specific roles. Like think about like in terms of an occupation. So a school, for example, you've got administration and the secretaries and support staff and teachers and janitors and cafeteria employees and mental health like support, the nurse, any other fabulous people I didn't mention. Most importantly though, we've got our students and our parents, right? But we have to have all of those things to make things function so that everything can work the way it is meant to work. It's its own ecosystem in a sense. It's its own living and breathing system. And this all has to do with interconnectedness and the roles that we play for one another and for ourselves. And so I'm being told to emphasize that what you do and who you are is important, Group 5. So if you've been experiencing a little like imposter syndrome or feel like what you have to offer isn't enough, or that maybe you don't fit in, you do. Much more than you realize. And if you've been holding yourself at arm's length, relax your arm, put it down, and lean into others in your life. And I know I keep circling back to this, but bees go back to the same flower patch that they enjoy, right? They tell their friends about it, the other workers. So human connection is important. If that means being a little more vulnerable, do it. If it means taking a risk, go for it. Life is meant to be lived, and we learn the most and live the most with others. For some of you, I am seeing a very similar, this is so pretty, kind of golden yellow, maybe even like a little greeny light around you and the people who are closest to you. So for some of you, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Oh, you're on the path to finding some truly quality, like friendships and relationships, people who are the honey in your life. Oh yeah. Oh, this is big for some of you. You're going to know them when you meet them and see them, because you're going to have the same feeling that I have, like within your heart. Like it's an expansiveness maybe in your chest, or you might get goosebumps. You might feel like you've known them. Not a trauma bond, but just you'll know the connection. You know it's going to be a positive thing. So keep an eye out for these folks. And you might even see a bee, like a little bee, or a charm, an illustration, a piece of jewelry, a tattoo, as you're kind of moving along this journey. So think of that as a hello from your bee guide here. And I mean, you could almost think of it, this is so cute. The bee could almost be like your North Star right now. Just be open and relax into their guidance and their messages, and have a little trust. I want to see if we have any other additional information. That was pretty good, but I've been taking a card for everybody. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. That is so cool. Okay. So this card to me is, and it's not for everybody, this is just how I often read it. My guides give me this information. This to me is about fated connections. And I'm not somebody who throws that around a lot. I'm not like a big fate person, but notice all the little colored threads that we have here. We have red and orange and yellow and green, which is incidentally how I kind of like arranged the stones at the beginning and the intro, kind of like in a rainbow. These are threads linking you to others, some of whom may be in other parts of like the country, the state, the continent, the world, who knows? Because if you don't know them now, you will. And your heart already does know them because you are connected. So have a little faith, relax, and allow, and see where the universe leads you, or the bee. And I just feel a little smile with this, like have fun. Don't take it too seriously. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm ready to claim this message for myself, bee, also. So thank you. So Group 5, that is what is coming forward for you. Take a moment to visit your other group choices to learn about the other animal guides who are with you right now. Thank you. Hello, Group 6. Welcome to your Animal Spirit mini reading. And the stone you chose today is the Bumblebee Jasper. And we're going to hop right into meeting your guide. Oh, wow. So your animal spirit guide is the spider. That is such a beautiful card. Oh my goodness. Okay. I can't really say that I've pulled this card very often in readings, but the artwork is just absolutely stunning. Typically when I've worked with a spider in the past, the message can be about planning and crafting goals, but I'm really being pulled again towards these colors. Yeah, that's giving me a resonance in my solar plexus. The colors here that are making up the web, they almost make me feel like I'm not seeing the strings themselves, but what comprises the strings, if that makes sense. There are these like strings of influence, all coming from different life experiences, different people, like different situations and events, and they're woven together to create a tapestry. That's the tapestry of your life. And the colors, it's as though the experiences are coded on some kind of light spectrum. I don't know, visible, invisible, I don't know. And so like the yellow, for example, might be precious memories. Maybe green signifies things that you did outside, time spent outdoors. Red might be passion, or excitement, enthusiasm. And they're just, I think there are also many, many more colors beyond what we could see right here on the card. Maybe perhaps beyond what we can actually see with our own eyes. So Spider is showing us, I think, with this, what creates you, the person that you are to this point on your journey in life. And when we look at these colors from their viewpoint, it's, difficult not to see beauty, even if there have been tough moments, which always are in life because that's part of our emotional experience as humans. We love, we lose, we grieve. And while loss or grief may not have a color in your specific web, it does create strength in these very fine strands of silk. And the more you've experienced and overcome, the stronger your silk is. Yeah. I don't always share like a personal story, but I feel like I'm compelled to here. I actually lost a child through an incomplete adoption, and it was simply due to the complexity of my son's biological family situation. And it was no fault of anyone, just a very difficult situation all the way around. And if I look at, the web of my life, my son would occupy, to me, the most beautiful colors. And perhaps his loss was a color too, but his memories with me hold the most beauty. Well, the grief that ensued following his loss and processing that situation was a whole another thing. Feeling my feelings and doing the work that, all the things that needed to be done there. And that's what strengthened the silk of the web and me. His placement with me and his displacement permanently changed who I am, but for the better. And that's what Spider's trying to emphasize for all of you too, that there is beauty and strength. Even if we don't feel strong at times, and even if we're tired of being strong, or being tired of being told, oh, you're so brave, you're so strong. Like, you'll probably get that a lot. Spider wants to draw attention to all that you have achieved to your life in this point and all your experiences, whether you label them as good or bad, neutral, beautiful, ugly. They are the tapestry of your lifetime, and this tapestry is rich with color, and it will continue to grow in depth and in beauty for you. All right, let's see if we have any additional messages here for you. We've been pulling one card for each pile, the tarot. Okay. Yes, so we have 6 of Swords here. This is perfect, right? Pile of Swords down here in the dark and the rainbow at the top of the card. It's almost like thread, isn't that? And your needles down below. Yeah. So if you've been having a challenging time right now, if you've been going through a loss or you're grieving or you're hurting right now, I just want to say, Group 6, I am very sorry for whatever it is that you're experiencing. But the 6 of Swords is a sign of things moving on. You moving on to greener pastures, to better things, leaving the worst of something behind. Maybe shrugging out from the heaviest part. Someone once described it to me, a reader, before the loss I was talking about. She knew something was going to happen, and she said, these next couple of years, it's going to feel like you are dragging yourself through mud. And that was a perfect way to say it. This is you coming out on the other side of that, though. Spider's message is pretty simple. This too shall pass. And while you're going through this, you might start to notice seeing spiders a little more often. And that's a sign that this guide is with you and lending you a little extra strength through their company. And spider's the kind of guide who's always there, you know, just out of the corner of your eye, reminding you of who you are and your beauty. Group 6, you are deeply loved. I'm sending you big hugs. That's what's coming forward for you, so take a moment and visit your other group choices to learn about the animal guides who are here with you right now, Group 6, and I thank you for being here with me. See you in the next one. Hello, Group 7. Welcome to your Animal Spirit mini reading. This is the Sulfur, the stone that you picked. I guess it's a mineral, right? And let's meet your guide. Okay, the Oyster. That's a really cool card. All right, a little unusual. And I do want to say, actually, all of the animal guides thus far have been really unique. It's, I don't know, sometimes when you go into these readings, you kind of get the standard thing, like you get the big cats, and I don't want to give too much away, but there's some like typical things that you run into, and this has been anything but. It's been a real treat. So I imagine that says a lot about you as well, that you are quite unique and lovely. Oyster to me is always very interesting, because it's about buried treasure, hidden depths, you know, opening up versus clamming up. Oyster often talks about boundaries, who we're letting into our lives, or just the opposite, who lets us into their world. We don't want to force an oyster to open, right? We want the oyster to open up to us naturally and of their own accord. And so there are a couple of messages coming through for you here around this. And one is not to let others steal your sunshine or dim your light. You know, and that's interesting too, because we have this yellow right here, that's sunshine. You know, be true to yourself, your own path, follow your own wisdom, and don't be too swayed by the opinions or perceptions of others. You know, don't allow perceived judgment, because sometimes we're thinking things, but they're not actually true, or actual judgment to distract you from what it is that you're doing, from your path, because you generate enough goodness and light that you don't need others to light that path for you. That would be a message for some of you, and you'll know who you are. And for others, there's something that you've been working on, you know, working towards some kind of understanding. You might be working toward a union with a person, perhaps, and the message here is just don't try too hard with this. Understanding and knowledge is going to come with time surrounding this, and there'll be a natural allowance, you know. That's going to happen when things unfold at their own pace. So it's not something that can be forced. So if you're here and wondering about a person, if you have a relationship on your mind, for example, this may be an instance of a slow burn. You know, let things take their own course and allow. Don't force things onto a timeline if somebody's not ready. You know, do your thing. They're going to do theirs. Give it time, see what happens. And I want to say, though, I do feel potential here. Like there's a lot of treasure down the road, but don't force anything, Group 7. You know, and if we circle back to this being about a situation, just give it time, because all will be revealed. But you can't just muscle things onto a different timeline. You know, stay on your path, and things will naturally unfold. The paths will cross eventually down the road. Yeah, let's see what else we can get with this. So we have the Hanged Man here. You know, and perhaps you could consider this maybe 2 animal guides for you right now, if you like little baddies. It's super cute. So these guides are working in tandem. Bat here is talking about, you know, taking a thoughtful pause, waiting for the right moment to take action, because we know bats are going to rest and then they'll fly when the time is right for them. So the message here again, it's pausing, taking a break before any action that you might be planning on executing. This is about taking a rest and thinking things through. Or a rest between like reps at the gym, or a cool down pose in yoga before getting back into the heat of the flow. You know, allow some distance between you and the situation. Oh, you know what I'm thinking about? And I don't think this pertains to either one of those animals, but like bears hibernating. It's almost like a hibernation period. You focus on you, you know, on other things that you enjoy, build yourself up. And after some time has passed, that's when, you know, winter's passed, for example, take a look at things again. You know, the snow starts to melt, the sun's out. You may find that you have a completely new perspective, which can just turn the entire situation, you know, on its head. Boop. Yeah. And that may in turn change your action, which can lead to this oyster just revealing the pearl inside of everything. One last thing, keep an eye out just for pearls or oysters or shells, and of course bats, pictures of them, symbols, anything related to that. And I am seeing, again, sunshine and moonlight, day and night, sleep and waking, the seasons. So just allow things to unfold naturally, follow their timeline. There will be a treasure that's revealed to you. And it could be like a seasonal thing, again, because that's coming up. So if you're talking about time, you know, maybe you're talking about a period of 3 months or 6 months, that kind of thing. You know, keep this pearl of wisdom tucked inside your heart, group 7. This is a unique message, definitely, for sure. We haven't had anything like this yet. So group 7, that is what is coming forward for you for this particular guide. So take a moment to visit your other group choices so you can see who else is coming forward to be here with you right now. And I thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, group 8, welcome to your animal spirit mini reading. And your crystal that you chose today is this Fluorite. And we are going to meet your guide. Cool. The unicorn. At this point, I'm just going to have to give up talking about how unique each animal guide has been, because I would say groups 1 through 8 here, they've all been really different. Very diverse messages, and this obviously is no exception here. So the presence of the unicorn spirit is about connection to me, and the horn is like an antenna that just amplifies messages. I do want to say, yeah, look at that. Even the color kind of matches. The moon in the background there, which represents intuition. We have the fluorite here. Yeah, kind of an emotional, watery thing going on. Very intuitive. Yeah, this guide wants to share a connection with a deceased loved one or an ancestor or friend for you. Someone who either knows you or you know well, who's transitioned. So think of the unicorn as the medium in this case, and this is definitely not how I was thinking this message is going to go today, but we're just going to roll with it. So the message here is simply one of presence, right? You are more connected to your loved one or ancestor than you realize. They are with you, and they may have reached out in dreams to connect with you, you know, because it might be a little easier during that time for some of you. But all you need to do to bridge the gap between you and this individual is to think of them. Yeah. Oh man, I can feel like people pulling in around me right now. Oh my gosh, my whole back is heating up. Like I've got people on either side of me. So thinking of them pulls their energy in toward you. It's making me laugh. Oh my gosh. You can have conversations with them like they are doing right now, and they're going to hear you. So talking out loud, yeah, that'll do it. You know, you could even establish your own symbolic language with this individual to better receive communication. So, you know, figuring out, you know, what's a good way to, you know, what do I want my signs to be? You know, what's a good way to communicate? So you might ask yes or no questions, right? You know, if this is going to happen, then I want to see this. And so you establish ahead of time what that yes, no is, what it looks like or what it sounds like to you. So you want to make it personal, you want to make it unique, but not so difficult, like seeing a living, breathing unicorn in the flesh. I mean, I don't know, maybe somebody's dressed up in a costume, you know, but otherwise that's probably not ever going to happen. But your yes might be to see any kind of unicorn, for example. So it could be a toy or a picture, like something that's static, something that's online, media. You know, you might see one in a cartoon, for example, or in a book. Just be open to the way it comes in. And oh my gosh, I've got goosebumps right now. So set a timeline too, like, so you might ask to see it over the course of a week or so, and then just keep your peepers peeled. Of course, yeah, you could ask for visual things, but then be open to, you might actually hear something that, you know, would represent a unicorn to you. You might hear somebody say the word unicorn. You just never know. Part of unicorn's message today is that you can tune your own frequencies into the other side a little bit more. So you can develop your connection to others who have passed. And while the relationship isn't the same, you know, for those of you who know this person, I'm not speaking about ancestors necessarily, it still exists though. You know, the thread is there for sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh my. I haven't really done any mediumship things recently, but apparently I have a lot of folks stepping in here. All right. And so, yeah, look at this. You have the magician here. Look at this. It's almost like a portal up here, an opening. We have all of this energy coming out here. You know, it reminds me very much of like the way the horn is pointing up. As we were talking about that being an antenna. Yeah, very nice. So with this magician card, that is, oh, and I want to say too, having a squirrel moment, go back to this, the cheetah might be a sign for some of you as well, you know. And so if you like already had established that, maybe you'd ask a question and ask to see a cheetah. Here's your yes or no. Consider that your sign. Okay. So magician, typically, if you know tarot, like this is about making your own magic. So I wouldn't be surprised that many of you who've landed on this group are intuitive or mediums yourselves. And this is just, again, about having the tools in your hand to bridge that connection between yourself and loved ones. You can literally step into the role of the unicorn here as the bridge or medium between yourself and those on the other side. So the unicorn is a symbol here of your abilities. So don't be surprised if you see more unicorns around you in the coming days or weeks. This is also a call to be aware of the magic around you, within you, you know, and the creative force that flows within your veins. Unicorn is here with you now to support you on this adventure, should you decide to follow the signs down this path. And there is a lot of potential here for you, Group 8, so embrace it if you are ready. You know what keeps coming through? I was just about to end it. Socks. Some of you might have unicorn socks. I'm almost seeing somebody like doing a load of laundry, and it's like I'm sifting through things, and oh, there's a pair of unicorns on my daughter's socks. Though that counts. If that is your sign, that counts. Okay, so don't discount anything. I could see somebody kind of going, oh, well, that doesn't count because there are already like unicorns in my house. Well, if you chose it as your sign, then, you know, consider that one thing. And then also what keeps coming up isn't the unicorn, the like the animal of Scotland or something like that. I don't know if I'm right about that. You can let me know in the comment box below. But anyway, this is a very high vibrational, very high energy group. I am going to end this here. That is what is coming forward at the moment. So take a moment to visit your other group choices so you can see who else is coming forward for you. You know, what other animal guides are here for you right now. All right, Group 8, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 9. Welcome to your Animal Spirit mini reading. Your crystal that you picked today, your gemstone, is a raw emerald. A little bit of shine there, a little bit of sparkle. And your guide is, stingray. That is very cool. Okay, so what I'm picking up from this particular guide is the feeling of, I'm still coming down off of the last one. It was so high vibe. This is just like the opposite. Not that it's not high vibe, it's like calming. I'll take some of that, please. All right. It's a feeling of contentment and balance and healing. And this healing is connected to sleep. Oh, wow. I'm going to come back to that though. The stingray's presence is incredibly calming. And I think you'd feel this immediately. It's just like coming down from the last animal that came through. This is, it's so relaxing. And it almost feels like it's a feeling you would get after a good massage, like when you're just completely relaxed and your body feels good and everything feels easy. You know, that's the kind of presence that this guide possesses. And the other words that are coming through for me right now are harmony and unity. Now, if you're here, this guide has a kind of healing effect on you. If we look at this, the colors moving up the spine here, it's almost like the chakras and the chakra system is being highlighted. So I do feel like that is something that this guide offers you. Yeah, and they do it in tandem. It's not just one stingray, but they're bringing their stingray friends along. You know, and as you're in a relaxed state, like you're getting a massage, or you're getting Reiki or acupuncture, if you're in deep meditation or sleep, or just anything that produces that similar kind of effect for you on your nervous system, your brain, your body, they're working on you at the same time on your energy system. And I'm seeing little flashes of light. It's almost like a mini electrical storm. Or if we think of almost like neurons firing in the brain. This is how it looks as they're kind of like hovering around you. clearing out energies that aren't yours, that you've accumulated throughout the day, like astral debris, other people's stuff, you know, and the like. Everything's so subtle and gentle, and then after clearing, there is the rebalancing of your energetic system and your chakras, your aura, you know, anything that feels a little off, it's harmonized again. So I feel like you'd be connecting with this guy during periods of healing and, for lack of a better term, like during energetic upgrades. This might include leaving old patterns or habits behind, or perhaps you're opening up more spiritually. They're going to appear when you are transitioning to a newer and healthier you in some way, shape, or form. Stingray's job is to support you during these transitions and times to help heal and keep your system optimized so that you're ready to face whatever's next. Yeah, okay. So let's see what other messages we have here from Stingray. Oh yeah, look at that. So the Four of Pentacles here, look at how it almost mimics the shape of the stingray. Isn't that cool? So group 9, I feel like you're either experiencing a kind of energetic upgrade or maintenance that is pulling this stingray healer guide in. You being here today may also indicate that it's time to start moving in that direction so Stingray can better support you on your path. So it may be a gentle nudge to get moving on something. Some of you may be experiencing some tightness in the body, and this will differ depending on who's watching, of course, but the neck and shoulders and the jaw are also coming through significantly for some of you. And there may be an issue with clenching or grinding teeth, TMJ, or something along those lines. This is just, there's a lot of tightness in here for me. You know, and for others of you, I want to say, like, I'm just sitting up now, like, how's your posture? That may be something to look at. And then for others, in addition to the tightness, you know, there's also like a frayed energy, like a jangly feeling, the way those are lit up like that. It's like nerves flaring up for me. So the bottom line is here that whatever physical issues are rearing up in your body, there's a path to take to investigate a little bit here, and you're being asked to give your body the TLC it deserves. So that may mean scheduling a visit to a doctor, or a chiropractor, a massage therapist. Interestingly enough, a sound healer is coming through for some of you. You know, I don't know where that came from, but it's pretty highly specific. You'll know. Acupuncturist, you name it. You know, Stingray is basically asking for you to take some steps toward this healing, and as they support you, in tandem, they're going to be there for you. And for some, this is again, about an energetic upgrade or pushing yourself into a new way of thinking or being. So this could be about breaking habits, working on vices, not necessarily something that's, confined to your physical vessel at this moment. So you'll know which camp you fall into, or maybe it's both. So take a moment, go inward, ask yourself what it is you need, meditate on it. And if you aren't clear yet, see where that takes you. I think, stillness and harmony and balance are what Stingray brings, and a gentle healing overall. So don't be surprised if you feel an extra boost as you engage in the self-care that the body requires. This is Stingray sharing their healing presence and their joy with you. All right, group 9, that is what is coming forward for you today. So take a moment to pause and reflect and visit your other group choices to learn about those other animal guides who are here with you right now. All right, friends, see you later. Hello, group 10. Welcome to your animal spirit mini reading. Your crystal is a Labradorite. And your animal guide, is the Scorpion. All right. So the overall arcing sense, this is cool, that I'm getting from this is a sense of pride. Yeah, this guide is encouraging you to show off what you've achieved and have a sense of enthusiasm about your accomplishments and who you are. Some of you may play it small, or you might be rather shy, or you might deal with imposter syndrome. And this may not be in every area of your life, but maybe it's confined to career, or maybe it is part of your relationship sector. With a particular group of people or a single person. Or maybe you have a unique talent that ought to have a little more light shown on it. This is, to me, almost a pushy energy, like a little poking, a little prodding, like hey, come on, let's do this. And it's funny because I'm almost it's reminding me of like a mom or like a younger sibling that's trying to like wake you up and get you out of bed in the morning. You're kind of grumbling and whatever. There's just a lot of enthusiasm here. This is a guide who would absolutely push you to be your best and to explore your limits. And they lend this kind of fiery energy, you know, that we see here right on the card. And they want you to beef up your mojo a little bit. That's what they want to give to you. And you might experience a little prodding, like a little poke in the butt to get you moving, but it's not anything malicious like we might associate with a scorpion typically, you know, out of fear. This is a very high energy and a very positive animal guide who can boost your creative energy and ambition. And I want to say this isn't free energy here. They want to like bring that up. Like, hey, this is not just like come and take. This is not the Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. They're encouraging you to push yourself and to increase your self-motivation. They're the cheerleader, right? It's one you might not want around all the time because they're like super high energy and relentless on top of it. They do want what's best for you, even if you are feeling tired. All right, let's add in a little more to the message. Yeah. Lovely. That's the Knight of Pentacles. It's like the wish fulfillment card. It's like it's looking at that for you. Like, we're going to get this for you. I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to help you get there. Yeah, they're pushing you toward the nest. It's toward your goals, towards your ultimate wish fulfillment. So group 10, if you're here, you may be in the midst of working toward a particular goal, whether that's in the personal sector or maybe it's, you know, not private and it's something that's a little more public. And it also could be that Scorpion's here just to remind you to get moving toward a particular dream or a wish or some kind of goal that you've been entertaining. And I do get the feeling it really doesn't matter, you know, how big or small this is. They are here to support you and encourage you during these times and just to light a fire under you, you know, or poke you in the butt to take those steps forward. It's, yeah, it's very exciting energy here. It is time to start, whatever those first steps may be. You might begin your work sessions by taking a minute to connect with Scorpion and thank them for their support. You know, I get the feeling as you connect more, you are only going to build momentum in the direction that you wish. And I truly feel like Scorpion's showing me the wide sky here, that the sky's the limit for you, Group 10. So that is what is coming forward for you. It's a unique guide and unique message. So take a moment to visit your other group choices to learn about who else is currently with you. And I'm going to say goodbye now. See ya. Hello, Group 11. Welcome to your Animal Spirit mini reading. Your crystal is Sodalite. Is Sodalite a crystal? Is it a gemstone? I'm not sure what to call it. Is it a rock? Anyway, your animal guide today is Dragonfly. All right. So what I'm seeing is an image of a young dragonfly that is stretching its wings out in the sunshine. They're gleaming. And this shows to me it's an image of newness and possibility, of growth and of change. Dragonfly comes to you on the heels of change and growth. You know, learning from one situation impacts how we carry ourselves in the next phase of our life. And in order for this to happen, there must be reflection and processing of our feelings. So I want to lean into the idea of letting go of something in particular. There may be something that you're holding on to, an idea of who you are, you know, a construct of who you should be. You know, maybe something that served you in the past, but it really isn't any longer at this juncture. You know what I'm seeing you, this is all like down at a river, is what I'm picturing in my head. And I see you standing on the riverbanks and you have a mask that you're holding up to your face and you gently like pull it down and hold it to your side. Letting go of that mask. And Dragonfly is encouraging you to do so, to relax your grip and let that old part of you go, let it go into the river. Because that's going to free you up. You're going to be able to move and see what's around the river bend. And as you go, I do want to say, like, you may have to, like, pull your feet out a little bit. Like, they might be, like, stuck in the mud a little bit. You may not immediately feel lighter. There may be some fear or grief, anxiety, things kind of mucking you up and holding you back. But, you know, our flying friendly guide reminds us that there is so much beauty around you, and there will be more to come. It may feel different. It may look different. But it is going to be an experience. These are all going to be experiences that are closer to the heart of who you are, you know, at each moment. It's closer to your truth. Yeah. All right. All right, so adding in this tarot card, we have the Three of Cups. This is perfect. Yeah, I feel like you follow the river's path, and like this is what you see. You see three birds drinking, and they're very happy. They're enjoying each other's company against the background of the sunset here. Maybe with wine, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what kind of birds you have around you, but it's this vision. It's one of these things, one of the, you know, new sights that you get to explore, and you know, new things that you get to see. There's always going to be moments that take your breath away. Yeah. You're still going to have those things. You're still going to feel awe. You're going to feel wonder. You're going to experience magic. Yeah. I do want to go into a specific message for some of you, and I'm getting a little tension in my solar plexus in my heart right now. There may be some of you who are clinging onto the idea of a romantic relationship with a particular person. Dragonfly is telling me you may want to relax your grip a bit and see what else can evolve from this. So for some of you, you may be leaving this individual behind completely, you know, continuing your walk down the river and just moving on to brighter and better things. I'm almost seeing like this individual's like sitting on a rock, or they're standing on a rock and they're just refusing to move. Like they have their own values and opinions and ideas, and they're fascinating individuals and lovely people, but they're not willing to journey with you. For others, they may get off that rock, but let them catch up to you, right? And some may join you as a friendship, yeah, a friendly walk, and not romance. I don't sense that whether they're getting off that rock or not, or whether they're walking with you in friendship or romance, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Okay? It's about where they're at. And meanwhile, Dragonfly is about our own inner transformation. Okay? This is more about this other individual not being ready for something with anybody. This is a them issue, not a you issue. And I hate saying this. It's so hard to hear. I'm sorry if this is triggering, but I have to deliver the messages that are coming through. I want you to know that you're loved, that you're supported, and it's time to shift your focus to you, your inner journey and transformation, and not this other person on this rock, you know, way back behind you. They may be occupying too much of your precious mental real estate, you know. You could be looking at this instead. And I think in some cases this person is going to end up becoming a lovely friend for you, you know, because that's what this Three of Cups is showing us. Friendship. You know, companionship, comfort, birds of a feather, as they say. And I want to circle back to the idea that, you know, release, letting go, that mask floating away. It's going to bring more joy and wonder and beauty down the road for you. You know, again, even if things are mucky and hard and challenging right now, there is a gorgeous place that you will find yourself in. And for you romance seekers, I do see someone down on the riverbanks with you. They're coming to you. Not staying behind on a rock, not flying away. Someone who's better suited, perhaps, who's ready, and who truly sees you for who you are as you've moved through this whole journey. Not somebody who's still working on their own shit, sorry, and who can't give you what you need in a partnership. Again, that's just for some of you. For others of you, that person may be this individual from the rock. It's just, you need to maybe walk away so you don't see them in your line of sight anymore, and you may be surprised that they suddenly are ahead of you. Have faith. Dragonfly is showing you the way. Yeah. Dragonfly supports us in the transitions in our life, no matter the challenge, and whatever joy you're feeling, if there's pain, Dragonfly is there. They are a constant guide, a presence that reminds us that we don't know everything about today yet. We don't have everything totally figured out. There are always new surprises, there are always new miracles around the corner, and it's okay to hold that hope in your heart and to fly with it. So group 11, that is what is coming forward for you. Take a moment to visit your other group choices to learn about the animal guides who are with you right now if you are so inclined. And thank you so much for being here with me. I am thinking of you and I'm holding you in my heart. All right, friends, see ya. All right, group 12. Yes, group 12. Welcome to your animal spirit mini reading. You picked the raw sapphire, and your guide who's coming forward for this. Ooh, talk about the big guns here, guys. This is the Phoenix. If you were pulled to group 11 at all, you might want to get that reading as well. You might want to circle back to it. There is a slightly similar energy here, but maybe not entirely. We'll see. And that's just for some of you that are feeling that. I do want to say Phoenix comes forward during times of transition for support. And I feel though this is after the change, however, after things have been dismantled and torn down and burned out. This is when Phoenix flies forth from the ashes of what once was. It's here that they meet you when you've already stepped over the threshold, when you've already lit the match. There is no turning back from this. This isn't so much about comfort, I don't think. This is about showing you what's possible and what is next, how you move forward, how you break through to the other side, and who you become. So if you're here and you're listening to this, then it is quite likely you are in the midst of a major transformation, or you are on the cusp of one. It's quite possible too you are already walking through the flames at this moment. So here's the thing. Going through something like this, you're not going to be the same. You can't be. The Phoenix illustrates this principle that this is the kind of transformation where there is no going back to what was. The ashes from the fire provide a transformative boost. They're nutrients for what we become and for who we grow into. As you step forth and you look around you, you may focus on the differences and how, say the landscape's not the same, and you might mourn that, but, remember, group 12, neither are you. Okay, let's see what else we can glean from this messenger here. So we have Temperance. That's funny. Another bird. We have a great blue heron here. More flames. Flaming birds. So in this iteration of Temperance, the great blue heron is providing balance with the addition of water to the flames here, right? So things aren't getting too out of control. Also, this group, you may want to be paying attention to birds as a sign that this particular guide is near for you. So, Phoenix wants to impress the idea that, balance at this tender stage of regrowth is what's important. Kindness to the self and patience as well. This feels very important to me. So be gentle. Don't expect big things from yourself right away. You may need some time to recharge your batteries, and you can say no or establish some boundaries with others who aren't able to be present with you during this time. And I mean present in the way that you deserve and need. If they're showing up with their own timeline and their own agenda, that's on them, and you don't need to partake in that. This is a time to focus on yourself, your healing, and your regrowth. And when you're feeling up to it, then you can widen that protective bubble to include others, if you wish. That's okay. So group 12, your message today is one of rebirth and healing and regrowth. And Phoenix is here to support you during this time and to let you know that you can walk through fire, to reveal the heart of who you are. And while things are going to look different and feel different, know too that you are changed, and yet you are more yourself all the same. Yeah. All right, blessings to you, Group 12. So Group 12, that was what was coming forward for you. And take a moment to visit your other group choices to learn about what other animal guides are here with you at the moment. And I'm going to end your reading here. Thanks for being here with us. Bye. Hello, Group 13. Welcome to your Animal Spirit mini reading. Your crystal is Iolite. And your guide is the Swan. So notice the mirror images here right off the bat. I'm being pulled to talk about soulmates or twin flames. For some of you watching, and I don't like toss that out a lot, but that is what's coming through. And so for some of you, this is about uniting with this individual. Your experiences currently may be mirroring each other. And part of Swan's message, I want to say they're mirroring, but I feel like you're not in union. There's a separation to me. And so I think part of Swan's message is that the more you work toward your goals and work toward yourself, on yourself, the closer that you will come to union with this counterpart. But the emphasis here is on work, and it can be difficult at times to take those initial steps, thinking we have, far to go. But here's the thing. As you work on yourself, this person is also undergoing transformation and change within their world. We are all works in progress. And this doesn't mean that you two need to be absolutely perfect in order to unite. That's just an impossibility in the world. However, when you do, you're going to be the most genuine and authentic reflection of you. And that is what is going to pull you two together like magnets. So I believe Swan appears when it's time to work toward union. And if that isn't romance, outside of us, it's actually about our own duality. It's about working toward unification and the best version of ourselves. This is a call to step into yourself and your uniqueness and your power, and not to delay at this juncture. You can begin with baby steps, and I always say this, I know I say it a lot, but it bears repeating that even that initial tiny tread forward, it's movement forward, and it counts. It's cumulative. You're here because Swan is with you at this time, encouraging you to seek that purest version of yourself and to delight in it, because you are precious, Group 13. You're so precious. Okay. So to add another layer here, we're putting this tarot card in, which is the Four of Cups. That sounded awkward, didn't it? We're putting a tarot card in. We're adding it. All right. Yeah. Swan's asking you just to move out of your own way. You may not be seeing things entirely clearly at the moment. We've got this rat here, and it's, cutting off the cups from the moon, a symbol of intuition. It's blocking that light. As you begin to move in the direction of your goals, I think things are going to reveal themselves much more clearly. So it's like Ratty's getting off the cups there. Yeah. So your intuition may be a little mucky at this juncture, I want to say. That maybe won't be for everybody, but if you've been in a bit of a funk, Group 13, this is your call to begin moving, and it doesn't need to be difficult, just taking those first steps forward. I will say I do feel really good about this energy, Swan. It's a big measure of success to me. Like when I sit up and feel this, it's in my solar plexus, it's in my chest. There's just a lot of potential for growth here, for change, and for connection. The biggest thing I think though is that connection to the self. And with this unity comes the opportunity for new adventures, possibly new romance. It's all on the horizon. And the message I hear from Swan is to live your life now. Don't wait. Because this coming together, it's much closer than you think. It's as close as you want it to be. So Group 13, that's what's coming forward for you. If you haven't yet, take a moment to check out your other groups and learn about the animal guides who are also here with you right now. Thanks for being here with us. Bye-bye. Group 14, welcome. This is your animal spirit mini reading. Your crystal is Celestite. It is so pretty. And your spirit guide is Patrick Starfish. All right, perfect. It's Starfish. Okay, no nonsense. This animal is like getting down to brass tacks immediately. Okay, so Starfish is talking to me about connection, connecting with your inner compass and aligning it with your own true North Star. Yeah, as a guide, this Starfish is very direct and to the point. Like, we're not wasting any time, we're getting moving. So there may be a component for some of you of leaning into, maybe you lean into like what other people think sometimes, you know, what do they do, what do they say, and maybe taking that in a little too much versus your own judgment. For some of you, there may be some people-pleasing tendencies, or you may just not want to ruffle feathers. Some of you may go along with the crowd sometimes without really allowing your own truth to sing. So I think the message here is quite direct. Starfish is connected to you, you know, in these moments to remind you just gently to realign with who you truly are and what your heart really wants and where you want to be. You know, it's funny. I have the image of a starfish like clinging onto something and needing to be pulled off. Sort of like other people's stuff catching on you and clinging onto your aura. And when I say stuff, I say that a lot in videos, but I'm talking about their energetic kind of junk, right? I do feel like for you, there may be an energetic impact on your aura. And so some of you may do well with like an aura cleansing, a chakra rebalancing, cord cutting, and you may find afterward that you actually feel much lighter in your thoughts and in general more balanced and just in tune with you. And I think at that point it's going to be easier to find out, to find you actually, you know, where you were once obscured energetically and how clear that is. Like I'm seeing, you know, a dirty window that gets cleaned off. All those little starfish get pulled off that aren't yours. Yeah. All right. They're so direct. I don't feel like there's much else to add there. Like we just need to keep it clean. It's kind of what they're saying. So we're going to add in the message from tarot that we have today. Oh, I love this card. This is literally my favorite card in tarot, my favorite iteration of the Three of Wands. This deck like takes the cake. Yeah, this rainbow middle here, that is like where you're headed and it's where you can go. It's your journey and your truth, and it's beautiful, group 14. And I almost think of the wands around it as milestones, like significant milestones, like people, experiences that might have been good, maybe they're sorrowful, but above all else, they're impactful. That's kind of what's holding this together, like this portal, and it's powerful. It's part of your lifetime. It's part of your growth and the tapestry of who you are. You know, and starfish want you to dive into this, to swim in the seas of this rainbow future. You know, and they're present to encourage you to connect with your heart and use what you've learned and experienced in this life, you know, up to this point to guide you into the next phase. No other person can dictate this for you. They're not going to tell you what to do either. They're just there to guide you. This is your magic. It's your path. So in order to move forward, it will be very beneficial to lose some of the negative influences around you in order to find your path clearly. You know, whether it is, you know, following the crowd, you know, not speaking up, that kind of stuff. You're going to know where you need to make the changes, where you need to tweak things. Does starfish regenerate arms? Is that right? Like sometimes I almost see it like someone's pulling at you. Like if you're the starfish and it's like bloop, one arm just lets go. It's like you just let go. And then that person disappears. And then you just get back to work regrowing a new arm, you know. And it gives an entirely new meaning to like letting something go, to just being able to like quickly let go and move on. And I feel like if you are pretty direct about this, you know, like setting boundaries and just saying like, no, you know, that's not part of my thing right now, folks are going to back off if it is people we're talking about here. Yeah. Things are going to get easy, a lot easier for you. And the future it's waiting here for you. It's well within your grasp, and starfish is reminding you to make sure you connect with your inner guidance system, maybe get a little energy work done in the process, and that's going to bring you just a newer and lighter way of being. and you're going to be that much closer to your own truth. So group 14, that is what is coming forward for you. If you haven't yet, take a moment to visit your other group choices and learn about those animal guides who are here with you right now. Thanks for being here with us. Bye-bye. Group 15, hello. Welcome to your animal spirit mini reading. And the rock that you picked, the crystal that you picked, I guess it's a rock, is blue lace agate. That is so pretty. And your guide is the dolphin. That's such a joyful picture. It's so colorful. So, yeah, part of your message does have to do with play. Like making time for it in your life, introducing it into your relationships a little more, and fostering playfulness in the way that you carry yourself. Dolphin's going to show up for you during the times that things are a bit heavier. You know, those times that you feel meh, blah, or like things in life are generally stuck. Spontaneity is something that's being stressed for you. Yeah. If you're like committed to the same routine, doing the same things every day, expecting the same outcomes, things are not going to change. Maybe taking some small risks, doing things that bring you joy and that make you laugh. And what does make you laugh? What sorts of activities bring you and others contentment and happiness and connection and fulfillment? Are there some relationships in your life that are more playful and, you know, others less? And then how can you pull some of that playfulness, like adopt it and bring it into your more serious relationships? Or how serious are you when you are alone? Do you laugh? Or are you serious? I feel like so many of us start out generally happy and playful, you know, at a point in adulthood, maybe our like young adulthood. You're full of hope for the future. And at a certain point, we kind of lose that. We lose our way. We stray from that path and suddenly find ourselves in the habit of being pretty serious. I keep saying that word. Reserved in some cases, you know, responding in that same manner to the same stimuli. And of course, the outcome is going to be more of the same. And dolphin appears when we need to bust this up, to adopt some of their infectious energy and to play our way out of this rut. You know, creating new neural pathways, new delightful habits, and remembering that we don't need to take life so seriously. You know, laugh and love and delight and borrow some of dolphin's sparkling energy and laughter, because that's in turn only going to encourage growth for your own. Yeah. Spontaneity is the name of the game for some of you. Okay, let's add in a little more information from tarot. And we have the Mother of Wands here. Okay. To me, this is showing like we're getting from here and we're moving to here, right? It's showing a beautiful increase in your creative fire and abundance with this shift into this dolphin state of mind, into a playful state of mind. So if you were tired and you were sluggish before, there's going to be more of a twinkle in your eye and a little sparkle in your step. Spring in your step, I guess. Your steps could sparkle also. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, things that were daunting or tiring or difficult are going to feel a lot easier for you. And so I think the bottom line here from Dolphin to you is that it's time to make time to play. And if it sounds frivolous, it isn't. It doesn't mean you need to host like marathon game nights if that's just not your thing. It's about figuring out what play is to you and going from there. Making time for play or a playful attitude. When you're doing that, you're making time for yourself. And things are going to naturally align themselves. They're going to become easier. They're going to become more exciting. And overall, more joyful. And before I wrap this up, I do have to say, like, Dolphin's popping back in there, emphasizing, if you have someone that you have a playful relationship with, like a few people, spend a little more time with those folks. Reach out, maybe talk to them a little bit more. Yeah, enjoy it. So best of luck, group 15. That's what's coming forward for you. Take a moment to visit your other group choices to learn about the animal guides who are also here with you right now. All right, friends, see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, Group 16, and welcome to your Animal Spirit mini reading. The crystal you picked was Ruby. And your spirit guide, ooh, it's like flying out at me, is Earthworm. Okay, so I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, is Earthworm going to have a lot to say? It's not a card that I pull up often, but what I'm being drawn to is this kind of rainbow middle, that colorful center that's right there. And yeah, the way the earthworm is curled around it, it's it strikes me as being a bit, you know, kind of tuned into the self. Perhaps shy, reserved, introverted. That's the feeling it's giving me. So I would say that if you resonate with those kinds of characteristics, you know, the earthworm is very, very present with you. If you see yourself, therefore, as being a little tuned in, instead of tuned in an outward manner to those around you, more introverted than extroverted, shy or reserved in nature, maybe you've been told that you're quiet. I do also feel like you're very watchful, perhaps aware of what's unfolding around you with others, but you may not participate in the daily drama. Earthworm is all about cultivating that inner light, this beautiful glow, right, that's on the inside, so that it glows more brightly, taking care of the inner world so that you gain comfort in and beginning to share some of this with others. Earthworm's encouraging you to match your inside experience to your outer living. So this doesn't mean changing your primary way of communication or of recharging your batteries differently. You know, you can't suddenly become an extrovert like overnight, but Earthworm encourages you to be yourself in all ways. This symbolizes self-acceptance and being so comfortable in who you are internally in your heart's experience that you're able to gently begin to reflect that outward to others. And I get it, like I feel there may be some hesitation for some of you if it sounds a little bit scary. Baby steps count. It's all about the baby steps. You know, earthworms aren't moving very quickly, are they? So earthworm's asking you to delve into your wants, your needs, your desires, and to just do a deep kind of inventory, kind of a digging into yourself and your personality. Yeah, take that inventory. How satisfied are you with your current path and journey? You know, what are your goals for yourself down the road? What lights you up? What could you do to get into better alignment with these things? And how can you begin to share that journey, or, you know, just the other things that get you pumped with others around you? Basically, Earthworm here today is coming forward because they want to see you shine. And they want you to be as proud of yourself as they are of you. Yeah. Hey, don't get yourself tied up in knots here. Like, there's a way out of everything. Don't get too worried about this. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple. And they're on the journey with you. Like, hey kid. Sort of like a coach talking to somebody. I feel like a little league player or something. Aw, look at its strength. That's so sweet. I love this strength card too. This one's really pretty. We have a floofy lion. Yeah, I think this is really a beautiful way to sum this energy up of having the inner strength. And up here at the top, this is like the sun coming down. And to me, that's transparency. It's honesty about who you are. It's having, you know, the presence and courage to show up for yourself in the world. Showing everyone who you are, not masking, right? And Earthworm saying, you can do this, Group 16. You know, as nerve-wracking as it sounds, they're reminding you this is a personal challenge for yourself. Nobody is forcing you to do this, however. It's done under your own agency and your own power. So if you're here today, you might ask yourself, you know, how can you begin to show up for you a little bit more in the external world? What can you do to push yourself to create a space for growth? In that space, new beauty has room to root, right? We have a rose here in the lion's mouth. You'll begin to see yourself bloom. And others are going to notice this change too in the best way. Yep. So shine on, Group 16. Ooh, you know what? I didn't add this in any of the other groups, but one way to begin sharing and to begin opening up a little more, especially if you don't normally, might be to claim group 16 in the comment box below the video. You could even just add in the earthworm emoji and, let us know how you are a magic maker, if that's something that you wish to share. What do you have going on? Whatever it is that you decide to share about this beautiful inner world, go for it. All right, so group 16, that's what's coming forward for you to date. That was really unique energy there. Take a moment to visit your other group choices if you haven't already, just to learn about those animal guides who are here with you now. I want to thank you for being here with us, sending you big hugs. Bye. Group 17, hello. Welcome to your animal spirit mini reading. Wow, I feel like I'm getting more casual, the more I'm filming this. I'm getting a little loopy here. You guys have, I believe this is called Phosphosiderite. I may be wrong. It's a very unique color. It's very opaque stone. Reminds me of a little egg. It's very pretty. Okay. Your animal guide is... Aw, the mouse. It's so cute. Alright, so... Mouse sees the beauty of the world in a way that we do not. For mouse being such a tiny creature, their perspective is going to be vastly different from, the joint space that we occupy, the space we occupy together. So, for example, you might look in your backyard and maybe it's tiny to you, but it's going to look like a vast forest or a huge meadow to a mouse. A thimble from a sewing kit could be a mug for them. And, we ourselves look like giants compared to these tiny creatures. So, mouse is an animal spirit. They're sharing a fresh perspective to what we do and what we say and how we live. Mouse reminds us that the world is simultaneously a vast and wondrous place, but it's also super cozy and connected. They're reminding us to take a step back, take a different viewpoint, and to look at our own world and see where we might insert a little freshness. How can we circle around something and hold space for new understanding to bloom? This is particularly helpful in our communication with others, especially if we don't always see eye to eye on polarizing issues. And this doesn't mean that you need to alter beliefs or your stances on things that you feel are fundamentally right or moral, but what's being asked is just to insert a little space, even the smallest amount, a mouse-size amount, to see if you can better understand where others may have where they hold a different point of view from you. Obviously, you control the narrative here. You can get as deeper, as challenging as you wish with this practice. If you're someone who's able to hold multiple viewpoints and is good at meeting others with understanding and grace and patience, then you might push yourself just a little deeper than someone who's beginning this practice. And if you're someone who's pretty set in their ways, you might take this energetic encouragement from Mouse to begin to make a little space for others. That tiny amount of room may actually blow open an entirely new understanding, which can impact many other areas of your life in like a cascading ripple. Yeah, I'm seeing a ripple effect. Little fireworks. All right. Let's see what other messages we have. Oh, cool. The Ace of Wands. Yes. Nice. Look at how bright that is. It's juicy looking. Okay. I don't think this is an olive branch, but I don't know, maybe it's a red bud, or I don't know what kind of tree it's meant to be, or if it's anything that exists, but it could be that olive branch metaphorically. Not just a bridge between two people who aren't agreeing on something, but it's almost like a magic wand that blows open understanding and space and transparency. There's this light here where there may not have been a light before. Like these little lights behind Mouse there. It's like you've taken one of these in your hand and, it ends up being a brilliant torch, like this Ace of Wands. And aces in tarot represent beginnings. It could be that if you are applying Mouse energy to a relationship, for example, and communication, that this application is what allows for new growth and synergy and a brand new start with this other individual. So Mouse's message for you today is to remind yourself to create space where you can and just watch and see how your world grows and changes. Yeah, it's all about perspective. All right, group 17, that's what's coming forward for you. Take a moment to visit your other group choices if you haven't already, to learn about the animal guides who are here with you right now. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, group 18. Welcome to your animal spirit mini reading. Your crystal is Ametrine. And let's introduce you to the guide that is coming forward for you right now. And it's elk. All right. Elk's message is pretty straightforward and not complicated. They're here to remind you that not everyone holds the same viewpoint or the same way of thinking. It's almost like they are coming into your energy field during these times when, you know, you're dealing with a relationship that is, say, complex due to communication styles or life experience or processing, whatever it is. For some of you, there is a stubbornness or rigidity that's also impacting your communication. And I'm not trying to call anyone out here. It may be the other individual of whom we speak. Yeah. Elk can be dangerous, right? And notice the antlers, the rack, is that what we call it? It's reminding me here with the flames around it, that glow, of almost like being a weapon. And that makes me think of the suit of swords in tarot. Swords are associated with communication, which is kind of what elk is talking about here. And swords can either cut to hurt, such as in the case of a knight that, you know, is holding a sword aloft and riding into battle, or swords can cut to heal, like a surgeon who is skillfully, you know, wielding a scalpel. Like a surgeon who is skillfully wielding a scalpel during surgery. That's a tongue twister. My point here is that if there is someone in your life with whom you recognize these kinds of relationship dynamics, like we were talking about, the stubbornness, the rigidity, communication that always seems to go sideways due to any number of factors, that elk wants you to remember that about your words, that they can cut to hurt or they can cut to heal. You know, it's a matter of how you're choosing to wield the sword of communication. And this may be a heads up for you or a reminder, you know, to you that elk is there supporting you during these difficult conversations. And I will say too, it is like that. As I was talking about, you know, cutting to hurt, cutting to heal, I was like, well, you know, you could also like put the sword down. But in this instance, it's like, no, my antlers are attached, is what I'm getting there. So I believe we're talking about an individual with whom you've had multiple conversations and with whom you've had multiple conversations, and it's like you're already engaged. This has been going on for a while. So it's like, no, I can't put that down. It's really hard when it's the other person, you know, when we have to stay armed, kind of. We have to keep in mind why things are difficult and decide if we need different boundaries for ourselves. You know, if there's a way we can approach this relationship from a different point of view. And, you know, speaking on point of view, if you haven't, and if you were drawn to pile 17 and you've not watched that yet, you may want to circle back around to it because there may be something in there for you. So, elk's message, relationship dynamics can be tough, but elk is here and they're lending you strength. You know, whether that channeled strength is to help make a decision about continuing this relationship or not, or strength in shifting the relationship dynamic, you know, which in the long term can be quite tricky if both parties are settled into ingrained habitual responses. All right. Yeah. So let's see what else we have here. Other messages from tarot. Oh, that's perfect. We have the Two of Wands. I like this. This is positive. So to me, this always looked like the Two of Wands were a set of like railroad tracks that are heading off into the distance, the sides of a path. You know, everything's kind of lined up in harmony. And I see elk's energy creating the possibility for this synergy in this relationship, you know, of getting you and this other person on a more direct and parallel track in the future. This also can imply, though, however, about you finding congruence in your own thoughts and beliefs about this relationship and finding a way to make your choice work for you so you're experiencing peace about it. Yeah, ultimately, this is a message that's just like, hey, things can change. There's positivity in the future for you should you wish to go there. There may be some hiccups, you know, kind of with what's going on right now, but just be aware of how you're approaching conversations, that you probably both are kind of armed at this juncture, and kind of creating a little space around that to see what can come forward from that. Okay. And again, go back to pile 17 if you haven't, if you were drawn to that, because there's kind of like definitely like some overlap that's happening there. All right. So group 18, that's what's coming forward for you. Take a moment to just visit those other groups, if you haven't yet already, to learn about your animal guides who are here with you right now. And this is where I'm going to sign off. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for being here, friends. Bye-bye. Hello, group 19. Welcome to your animal spirit mini reading. Your crystal is pink calcite. You know, I think when I bought this, they called it red calcite. But then I've seen people online, like, red calcite looks really different, and then pink calcite looks another way. So I'm not sure if people mislabeled it, or if there is some other way to talk about them or classify these, you know, different types of calcite. I have no idea. Anyway, we're going to pop into your reading now. And yeah, let's meet your animal guide. Oh, and you have the otter. Okay, I don't feel so bad about my brain getting hijacked there momentarily. So I just love this energy. Otter is just coming forward to share their abundance of playful energy with you. And this is about being silly and making time for fun and being in the moment. You know, just unobstructed joy is the energy that's coming through. So this is for yourself. It's also for the connections in your life. And I think the more play you introduce into your being and your state of mind, the more that's going to trickle out, spread out, explode out into your other relationships. And, you know, with it, an ease just settles into the relationships. And there was an earlier group too that had a similar message. It might have been 15, I'm not sure. But, you know, if you haven't looked into it yet, you might want to go check that out. And I want to say, this also has to do with strengthening your familial bonds. That's really being impressed. That's like a major difference between this and that other group. You know, this could include a partner or parents or siblings, children, aunts, uncles, the friendly older neighbor from across the hall that you've adopted, you know, your family. Those people you would consider as close to your heart. Play can be one way to build up these connections. I'm actually seeing like an otter when it floats on its back. It has its little eyes closed, and maybe it's holding hands with another otter who is similarly relaxed and enjoying life. So just kind of thinking about that energy, you know, what are some ways you can strengthen your important connections in your life to get there? Otter energies, you know, it's about taking the playful route, but yours might be a little different. You might make a list of things that you can try with others, like checking out new restaurants, finding ways to introduce novelty into areas of your life that have been relatively like status quo, or just, you know, ho-hum to this point. Ho-hum. I want to say spending time outside in nature might be something to do as well. And for some of you, you may actually want to schedule bonding, playtime, or fun time into your week or day. So make it a ritual to have a game night like once a week, you know, twice a month or something. I'm actually leaning more into board games and like physically doing things with people, and less into electronics here. That is just my preference, but doing something that's different. Maybe you try baking something together, like making pizza or baking cupcakes, or, you know, whatever it is that you like to do. Or do something new that you've always wanted to try. Even if it's a mess, the point is to focus on the journey and not the destination. And, I'm actually seeing a map in my head, and it's like one that you're creating, you and maybe other people. You're like all taking a pen and drawing things. And, it's a map of your relationship journeys, like where you overlap. There's mountains and valleys, and I see like rushing rivers and little babbling brooks and forests, you know, countryside, and each area represents a different and valued part of your story together. You know, that's like what you're creating together. Maybe that's something you can actually do too for all you creatives out there. Like you map your story out and illustrate it, color it in. That could be fun. I don't know. Yeah. Like I'm seeing something that's really big, like that you can put on your wall, like big paper. All right. Let's see about any additional advice or messages that we have here. I'm getting down to the end. And we have the Mother of Swords here. This is cool. So I think what we've been describing here, this energy, may be a little motherly, finding these things to do together. Otters are seen as playful though, regardless of their sex, regardless of their role in relationships. And it's this kind of playfulness that is going to help bond relationships into something lovely and more concrete. And, perhaps by you taking this on, it's more of a thoughtful and watching energy, like this owl represents on the Mother of Swords card. It's you taking care of yourself and thereby those around you whom you love. All right? Yeah. And I want to say too, I think I said this in the other group that was similar. If there is somebody in your life who you feel is like a good role model and is playful, you might get some ideas from them. Spend some time with them. And also just hanging out with them is going to boost this kind of energy. It's going to help kind of amplify it in yourself as well. So have fun with fun people. So group 19, that's what's coming forward for you. And if you haven't yet, take a moment to visit your other group choices to learn about the animal guides who are also here with you on your journey at this moment. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends. Hello, group 20. You are the last group here today. Welcome to your animal spirit mini reading, and your crystal or stone is Howlite. It's not dyed, it's natural white kind of color. And your animal guide is, oh, wow, the hawk. That is some intense energy right there, group 20. Holy cow. Wow. All right. Very potent, very powerful, and I'm just kind of like pulled into this power that's radiating from this animal. And I want to say this is about perspective and taking your time and allowing things to kind of unfold at their own natural pace. That's part of what's coming through. But I'm hearing a phrase, stay above the fray. Stay above the fray. So hawks appearing today as a reminder to keep that sky-high view from above. That's important right now. There may be a situation that you're experiencing right now that's really sucking you in, kind of getting you tangled up, and it's pulling on your energy so that you're kind of unable to keep your unique perspective. And some of you may be like also feeling a little torn between your beliefs and what others around you are saying. Hawk's energy, their auric field, it can help you to kind of clear out those ties that aren't serving you. You may meditate on like an image of a hawk, even this one, to receive similar benefits, to kind of get things moving a little bit. Sometimes I'll meditate with found feathers to help clear out my own auric field too. Not that you need to go find a hawk and grab one. That's not what I'm saying, but that is something. If you do have, even any kind of feather, it could be a stand-in for you. So if you find hawk appearing in your life right now, I think it's for this reason, just to lend support and clarity to you at this moment. And a practice meditation can help to keep your energy field clear and allow you to regain some balance in the situation that you're currently experiencing. It just helps you kind of get grounded into yourself. And I want to kind of circle back to this idea. Oh, I'm seeing a moon, like moon going through phases, like coming back. Interesting. Things repeating themselves. Yeah, maybe that's why you need to stay above the fray. Kind of get a different perspective so you don't get sucked into things. Yeah, things are meant to unfold on their own time, and this is also about non-interference. Like hawk encouraging you to spread your wings and kind of practice detaching from the situation so that you can gain new perspective. This will also help you to stay above the fray, so to speak. And also I'm hearing that other phrase about keeping your nose clean. Keep your nose clean. So it feels like the energy of this experience or situation is like heavy enough that it is almost magnetized, and it has a way of yanking other people into it. So this could be a difficult family dynamic we're speaking of here, or drama surrounding friends, or probably the workplace for some of you, but there is a lot of compelling energy attached to it, and it likely involves a group of people, which is why Hawk is such a perfect guide to kind of pop in, as they have immense power at their wingtips. Yeah, all right, we're gonna pull our last tarot card here, and it is the Daughter of Pentacles. Last messages and advice. You know, that looks pretty like striking. I'm looking up in the camera, that's neat. Yeah, so I see this as you kind of emerging from this experience as the Daughter of Pentacles, you know, being more present, loving, you know, centered, and most of all, just being true to yourself. And so it's like you're this young fawn here, curious about the world, and you're ready for what new adventures await for you. And the rainbow makes me think of moving beyond the drama and into this entirely new perspective on the whole thing. And I think this can be achieved for you with a little focusing on, you know, keeping your energy field clean and clear. So you might be somebody who gets a little energy work done, or if you haven't in a while, getting, you know, a little maintenance there. Or, you know, spending some time talking to trusted loved ones and friends about the situation, and perhaps a professional in some instances. But also, you know, beginning or strengthening a meditation practice. That seems to be important. And it can be short, just like a few minutes each morning before you leave the house. That's all it can take sometimes. That's all you might need. Little meditation, a little focus there. And you could even, if you have a feather, hold it and just see what comes to you. Kind of focus on that feather. You could close your eyes if you want while you're holding it, and kind of go into the pattern of flight of what that hawk is doing. And I think that's going to help kind of realign you and kind of give you wings under your feet through the day. Hawk is always there for you overhead and guiding you towards a brighter and more clear vision of you. So peace to you, group 20. And that is it for all of our readings today. If you haven't checked out your other groups yet, now's the time to circle back and do so. Thanks for being here with us, and much love to you, group 20. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.